Well, hello, and good morning. Yeah, turns out that whole nap type situation I was talking about earlier, pretty darn useful. So let's go ahead and take a quick peek here. Uh, so after going and leaving it and coming back the next day now, all it took was 3 tries. Like, when I was mentioning at the very end of the last one, just like what actually ends up happening to your brain after going and, repeatedly doing something for a while, you just kind of internally get it. And that's basically been the process for this entire run. Just like beat face against a wall, then suddenly just completely nail it. So, anyway, so granted, the fights start off pretty crappy. You start off doing his vertical RNG and all that, and actually, despite the fact that he went and did his flyby several times, I was still able to do it. So, convenient little lefty there. Managed to get a good bit of the larges, about the same, I think it was like one less than that one really good run yesterday, but ultimately it actually turned out being a bunch of mid-spam that ultimately ended up winning this thing. But yeah, a bit better dodging than yesterday, a bit better aim than yesterday. I would say the RNG feels about the same, but anyway, I'm just glad to have this guy done. So, he's one of the quote-unquote big three as far as I consider them. Because of the ones that end up cheating a whole bunch, it's him, Damon, and Zenaida. So that leaves one. But it's mostly just because they're units that basically combine ridiculously stunning weapons, combined with the fact that they can permanently fly at any point that they want, and on top of that are resistant to anything rocket-related. So anyway, like I said earlier, I believe that's one less rocket on the large side than there was last time, but this still went pretty darn well, I think. Couldn't think of a more fitting theme to make this happen. Because you know what? This is just intercept theme forever. That's kind of the deal now. So at this point, I was feeling pretty good. Like okay, I have some leeway. I could probably even take a moonlight hit. Actually, I was given some advice to try and blow the moonlight off, and I was trying to explain there too, like that it wouldn't have actually worked because the ML is not actually what I'm worried about here. Because if he does that, he still leaves himself wide open to potentially get, like I can just dodge out of the way of that thing and, pop him in the armor or whatever else. But thing is, actually dodging the linear is much more annoying because he still has the EOs, and the EOs can fire at any time, so I have to dodge both of those things at once, which is nigh impossible. But anyway, so there we go. Finally ended up getting that a-hole. But yeah, if you're ever having trouble, take a nap and come back. That's the best advice I can give you. Also, let's go ahead and watch that again from his perspective. Feels good, feels good. So if you're ever curious about just how much infinite energy he has, yeah, there you go. He can keep up the flying all day. Goes for a slash there. Goes for the pew-pews. His EOs basically take nothing. Like, it's ridiculous. The fact that it even exists is completely ridiculous. So he takes a few hits there. A few double hits, too. Just kind of curious how, let's speed this up a little bit, just so, just we can do that. I'll be honest, every time I see the whole fighting from both perspectives thing, I always want to try and skip through it. So, I'm gonna go ahead and speed that up a little bit. But anyway. Yeah, I mean, I guess he has a little bit less than I expected, but still. Like, he can basically keep this up all day. Thing is, like, I kind of want to see what amount of linears he has left after this. Because considering how much they can do, like, okay, if you take the rockets there, they can do potentially like 300 to 400 each, so we'll go ahead and assume 350. So potentially they can do like 15,500, right? If, like, let's say the arms and the back 50s can do 15,500. Let's see, 36 times, let's say 18 for 320, what's that? 3 by 15, what is that exactly? Like what? 34 something? Whatever, we'll assume 34 there. So we'll assume about like 50k total potential damage. Not counting the lefties because, they're kind of a complete crapshoot. Crapshoot, rather. But anyway, so assuming for all that, we'll assume like 34,000. With his, so yeah, that's potentially like 3 maximum AP KOs in there. with his linears, if he does 200 per 80, right? Essentially, well, actually, no, 2 to 300. So let's assume 250, and then he's going for 80s each. So let's assume 160 by 250. Where's my friggin' calculator? Because I suck at math. It's like I always end up overthinking it, and then feel like an idiot afterwards. Where is it? Where's my damn calculator? All right, 250 by 160. So he's got potentially 40,000 even before his EOs, even before his missiles, everything else. So his two thing is easily, like, out everything. Pretty much the entire loadout on mine. So anyway. Yeah, save that crap. I wish I could give it a name, like... Oh wait, I can give it a name. Let's see. Wow, why is that lagging so bad? See, Dingus go dead? Can I actually fit that in there? There we go, Dingus go dead. Perfect. How do I... Input selection, but I'm already done... Yes, accept settings. Save replay, Dingus go dead. There we go. And alrighty, so... Mr. Malindell, whatever, let's go. Let's do another one for good measure here. Do a little bit of a palate cleanser and all that. There's no way in hell this guy won, by the way. I'm just saying, like, no chance whatsoever for this one. Like, how would he have done it? What, did 2448 just completely break in half? I mean, through the rest of the series, there's always been the question of how did certain rankers get to their ranks, but this guy must have slept his way to the top somehow, and this is ridiculous. Like, what is this guy? He's like all slow, he can't aim worth a crap, which, granted, I've been missing almost every shot on him. Should be aiming lower, that's what I'm doing. There's a problem, it's so weird. Because all of a sudden, there's this guy that's suddenly no threat. Are we sure he's supposed to be here? Maybe he's just lost. There we go. I mean, if he's just gonna sit there and friggin' eat these rockets, why not? Oh, these hand rockets are so annoying. Like, especially compared with the ones from 3rd gen, or early 3rd gen. It's just a little bit hilarious. They're like, yeah, no, it's... They just fire really slowly now. Thankfully, those are just 3 micro missiles, so they don't really do anything. So even having missed most of my shots here, it's very likely that this will still be a win on the very first try. There we go. Yeah, I don't want it to be a cheap episode. You know, gotta at least get more than one. And his kneecaps are busted. I'm not even sure this guy has OPI. Actually, I'm pretty sure he doesn't. Or for that matter, it could be one of the many ones that they have in here where they just gave them OPI just for the sake of having OPI, even though they never really utilize it. No, I don't actually know if the OPI functions differently from the other games. Like, I know in, for example, 3, there were a couple dudes that had only some of the features unlocked, which was a pretty cool way of doing it. Okay then, I don't know what exactly just broke on him, but something did. Really, aside from decent shell defense, that is nothing. Honestly, it's kind of a mean run if you think about it. It's just like forcing giant robots to stub their toes on what are essentially flying rocks. Okay. And let's get our back 50s out. This guy's quotas all, friggin' quota all over again. Where the only challenge is running out of shots because he moves so weird. Why would anybody move like this? Anything with a lock-on is just instantly gonna completely crush this guy. There we go. You know what's funny? I didn't even intend to start this right now. I wanted to do these attempts a little bit later. I actually came in to just get a picture of Starch Diet's head for this meme that was suggested yesterday. This was an idea of like, well, actually it'll probably be the thumbnail for this, so. You'll see. But yeah, I just came to get a picture of this head for that, and yeah. Just figured, screw it, I'll give it a couple tries, because I already had it sitting on that. Aw, dude. Thought he was already out of shots. Whatever, we'll play this safe. Means what? 1 or 2 more shots? Probably 2. That's 17 AP though. Oh, what the dick. That's okay, that is some pro stuff right there. That I'm not even mad, that was pretty awesome. Just completely trick-shotted me at the end there. What just happened? My controls died, and then I was kicked out of the fight. Okay. That's bizarre. There we go. That's going much better. I mean, if he's not really even gonna bother dodging. Probably my mistake last time was just sitting there and eating a bunch of shots early on, trying to go and break his legs some more. They're already pre-broken on this guy. And I'm gonna feel so stupid if I end up losing again. Whatever. I can't really do any other attempts even after this anyway. Doing another mod thing in just a minute, so actually it's like 9 minutes, so we'll do it at that point. So, to anyone that's ever wondered about these particular missiles kind of sucking, this is what they're for. Like, you basically just trick somebody into running away from the first set, and then you get the second set, and then you basically have somebody trapped in a lock at that point. And they're very useful, especially online. And let me go turn that music back on. TLP, come on. There we go. Need my interceptor theme. How did he break my legs exactly? When did that happen? Whatever, you know what? 2448's gone, so even if I lose this again, I'm perfectly fine with that. Because then really, the main one I'm worried about after that, unless I'm missing something, I think the second hardest will probably... It definitely won't be 9-ball, even though that's kind of been mentioned a few times, just because, even though he has linears and all that, his whole shtick is quite a bit different because he can be effectively run out of shots. But aside from Damon, no, it's good. Still got 7 minutes. Let's do this thing. Aside from Damon, there's probably Surfire, maybe. Which I kind of wonder if that was actually supposed to be Surfire or was supposed to be Surefire, and just maybe got Englished. What do you think? Starfire, Surefire? Who knows? Well, now I'm just upset that that first one didn't... Well, actually, not even upset, whatever. You know what? This guy needed to have his day eventually. And I think that's probably the closest thing to a win he's ever gotten. Or a winning streak, rather. Like, you know, this guy is definitely just here as kind of like a palate cleanser after 2-4-8. You notice they do that a few times in the arenas, just like whenever there's somebody that's particularly difficult, so they always have a section right afterwards where it's like somebody that clearly had no business being there, but they included them as kind of a, you know, it's time for an easy fight type of thing. So that would be this guy, and then, like, for example, you have Barchetta over in AC3, then immediately after him, you have, Ox. It's like, yeah, unless that guy just got in close and completely wailed on him with a very similar setup to this guy, actually. He's just like a quad with this setup, except only bazooka arms. He doesn't even have missiles on the back. But anyway, so very similar setup. Funnily enough, also gave me a little bit of issues on the rocket run of that guy, but I still kind of sucked with rockets at that point. I'm like 10% better now, and my nose is dang itchy. There we go. So yeah, they always like doing that, though it's extremely out of place in LR because of a lot of reasons. Because I mean, like, if you think about it, it's one of those features that they always kind of put in for quote-unquote casual mode kind of situations. And it's nice, but at the same time, it also doesn't make any sense in context, because this is supposed to be like a virtual arena. There's not supposed to be anything but crazy effectiveness going on here. Well, this is just unfortunate right now. Oh well, oh well. I will admit, though, right now what's one of the main things that's throwing me off is the reload time on these stupid hand rockets. They're decent, like, they're decent, but why do they have to reload so weird? If you aren't aware of how they function, by the way, they have 2 shots that are relatively quick, and then they take about 6 seconds to reload. But if you're doing them one at a time, it's sometimes hard to remember when exactly the last one was fired, and sometimes it'll just decide to reload if you haven't fired in a while. Which, okay, you know, fine feature, something that they did in FA as well, but they definitely did it better there, because, well, the reloads were less of a thing. I don't know, I don't like the reload mechanics, period. Maybe we can just do it this way. Oh. I just noticed, fellow rocket user, this guy. Just broke something off of him. I think that might have been his head. Sorry for breaking your head. Oh crap, it's 3 minutes till that thing starts. Well, let's finish you off. No! Bad time for a hard landing. Okay, let's see. I need 6 shots on him still. So if I can get him trapped in a corner, that'd be ideal. I can just DPS race him at this point. Can you just get trapped in a corner, please? There we go. Done deal. Gotta love the AI. It's so bizarre. It's like the 3 and SL AI never would do that, but they would basically just charge you like a drunken idiot. Anyway, so there we are. That's that done. Who's next? Is that Surfire? No, it's Zoro. He's not too bad. Alright, anyway, see you next time. Take care.